Welcome to January's virtual STEM event. My name is Regina Price, and I am the chair of the Mathematics and Engineering Department here at the College of the Albemarle.
And I'm Todd Kruger, and I'm the chair of the Natural Sciences here at the College of the Albemarle.
And tonight's event is the Melting Snowman Challenge.
Yeah, melting snowman. However, what you see in front of you is neither a snowman nor melting. I got a question for you just to kick things off. Regina, what do you think I've got in this bowl here?
It's a bowl of water.
Certainly looks like it, right?
Yes.
It's clear, it's liquidy, it jiggles like water.
Yes.
Do me a favor, just go ahead and stick your fingers down in there so the camera can see your fingers under the water there. Do you feel anything unusual?
It feels like jelly is in the water, even though I don't see it.
That's right. It's hard to see, but go ahead and grab a handful of that and pull it up above the surface. What do you got there?
Wow.
Yeah. We've got a whole bunch of small glass, well, not glass, but squishy beads. This is something we call water gel. It's a special chemical that soaks up a lot of water, grows to several times its original size, and it soaks up so much water that it's basically 99% water by the time it's done soaking it up. It looks like water. You can see right through it, just like water.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, why did Mr. Kruger talk about this instead of snowmen? Let's go unpack our guides and our bags, and we'll see exactly how this ties in.
Let's see what we have. So, just to let you know, you are going to need some water for this challenge, okay? So that's one of the things that you are going to have to get or get your parent to get you, okay? So inside of our bag, we have a tube of cornstarch. We have a small measuring cup. We have a tube of instant snow. And we have a small dipping spoon. We have 2 boats for what we're going to be using. And then we have a pipette and a wooden stirrer at the bottom of our bags. Okay, you should have those. And then you have another bag to decorate a snowman.
That's the fun part. I'm looking forward to that. Oh, you got a nice little hat in that one. Eyeballs, carrot nose.
Yeah,
I can't wait to use that.
Right. Depending on which bag you got. Like some of them have like a smaller hat, some of them have a bigger hat. Better the hat, better the snowman. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. So the first thing that we're going to be using is our cornstarch. So everybody has about 40 to 45 milliliters of cornstarch, and you want to use about half, okay? So you want to use about 20 to 25 milliliters, and you're going to put it in one of your boats, okay? So we're going to use our spoon to dip it out. You want to be careful. You do not want to create a cloud of cornstarch. Okay, so let's be careful as we're dipping it out and keep your measurement like in mind. So
that's very good advice. This stuff will spray very easily. So you want to be very gentle as you're spooning this out of the tube and into the boat. But you're doing a very nice job.
I'm trying. Using my little, what I remember as being like an ice cream spoon when I was in school.
Oh, you didn't eat nearly enough ice cream, if that's the size spoon you're using.
I'm trying to make sure I got it all the way down.
That's looking really good.
So I'm gonna put my top on.
Okay.
So I think I'm about at halfway.
Okay.
All right. So now we need some water. So we need 10 milliliters of water. So we're gonna pour our water into our measuring cup, and you want it to pour it to 10 milliliters.
Okay.
So Mr. Kruger is going to pour the water, and I'm going to watch the measurement.
It's like 10 milliliters is about a third of the way to the top. Whoops. Mr. Kruger got a little extra water on the table there.
All right, so that's about it.
Okay. There's 10 milliliters. Now what?
All right, so now we are going to pour our water into our boat.
Okay.
And now we're gonna stir. I'm gonna stir with my wooden stick.
Okay.
Let's see what happens.
So it's going to take a lot of stirring, but basically we just took solid cornstarch particles and liquid water, and we combined them together in one of these boats. We're going to stir it up and see what happens.
So
Now,
Mr. Kruger, it's kind of hard.
Yeah.
Stir.
Yeah, we're going to have to play with this a little to get the mixture just right. If it's too hard to stir, your wooden stick might break. So you want to make sure you have a little extra water in there if it's too hard to stir. But what you're going to see when you're all done is something that looks about like this. Okay? So I don't know if you can see this on the camera, but if I roll this around, you can see it's sloshing around. It's sliding around inside the boat like a liquid. But as soon as I poke it with a stick, it breaks. I can actually take chunks of the liquid and move it around inside the boat. This is a weird substance. We're going to call this oobleck. It's named after a Dr. Seuss character who's kind of a green, slimy thing. So this weird thing that we just created that's kind of solid and kind of liquid. Whoops. Oh, look at that. I dropped it on the table and it just suddenly started melting. I'm going to do that again. That looked like a lot of fun. Now break a piece off and stick it on the table, and it just starts turning back into liquid the second that I stop pushing on it.
Wow.
Yeah, this is oobleck. It's what we call a non-Newtonian fluid. If I push on it, it acts like a solid. If I let it relax, it acts like a liquid. Why did we do this? We are trying to make a snowman, right?
Right.
The first thing we did tonight was to see what would happen if I put a bunch of solid marbles into a bath of liquid water. When I mix the solid and the liquid together, got something kind of unexpected. Same thing here. I mix solid cornstarch with liquid water, and I got this weird thing that's kind of in between a solid and a liquid. So, do you think this is going to make a good snowman?
You can try and see if you could actually make a snowman. So for a snowman, you know, you need a head, you need a middle torso, and you need a bottom.
Little stick arms off the sides.
Yeah, but it's not acting right. Like I can't form any kind of anything to hold any definition, because as soon as we stop touching it, it melts back down.
That's right.
And then it gets hard as soon as we touch it.
If I put this little carrot nose into my snowman, the second I push on it, it's nice and firm. It feels like it's going to hold the carrot. But the second I let go, whoops, that was so hard, it actually just bounced right out. The second I let go of it, it just melts and sinks right into the liquid. So I don't think this is going to make a very good snowman.
Since our oobleck is not going to allow us to make a snowman, right? We're going to set that to the side, and we're going to get our second boat. And now let's try that one to see if we can create a snowman. So for this one, you're going to need your tube of instant snow. And again, we are going to use our spoon in order to dip out a spoonful of the instant snow. Okay. All right. So just a spoonful. I'm going to stay over my boat, and I'm going to try to get this measured just right. Now, what's going to happen next, you really want to make sure that you are watching to see what happens. All right, so there's my spoonful.
Okay.
Of my instant snow, and I'm gonna close this back up. So now we need water.
All right.
So now we need 20 milliliters of water for this. So
All right.
Mr. Kruger's gonna measure, and I'm gonna watch.
So 20 milliliters is about 2/3 of the way up to the top of the cup. And
Almost there. That's it.
perfect. All right.
All right, so now you're gonna take your water and you're gonna pour it into your boat with the instant snow. And I want you to keep watching and watch what happens. Keep watching, keep watching, keep watching.
Whoa, look at that.
Wow.
Wow, that was 1 spoonful of this powder.
1 spoonful gave
Wow.
us instant snow.
Instant snow. That's fantastic. This is a chemical called sodium polyacrylate. It's great. It absorbs a whole lot of water. It's amazing stuff. But what's really interesting, you stick your finger in there. If I were to go outside in a snowbank, it'd be pretty obvious that that's snow because it's so cold. But if this is done right, it actually feels a little bit warm. So what we're making here is actually hot snow.
Wow.
Yeah, this isn't ordinary snow. This is special chemically made snow.
With this one, you can actually shape this up to create you a snowman. So you can actually get a little bit of shape to it, and then you can pull out your eyes, your arms, your hat, and make your snowman. All right, so let's see what we can do with this.
All right, we've got a whole lot of pieces here.
So I'm trying to shape my little body before I even get started. So I'm gonna put his hat up here.
Oh, that looks good.
He's got some rather big eyes.
It's a very surprised snowman. Oh, this is looking pretty good already.
All right, so here's our nose.
Good, got a carrot nose. I like that.
And put on our buttons.
This is looking great. So while Ms. Price is putting together her snowman, I'm going to tell you what we just did. We just did 3 different mixtures today. First thing we showed you was a bunch of little glass spheres in a bath of water. We put that solid stuff and that liquid water together, and it made what looks like nothing. I mean, it looked like it was invisible. The second thing we did was to take solid cornstarch and liquid water, mix that solid and liquid together, and we ended up with this weird sort of in-between kind of solid, kind of liquid thing that we call non-Newtonian fluids. Lastly, and I think most successfully, we tried to make snow by mixing a solid and liquid together. And this time we used a solid called sodium polyacrylate, which is something that's really good at absorbing water. And we poured a lot of liquid water on top of that and let it swell up. This chemical is actually something you might have in your homes, especially if you have maybe some young members of the family, some babies around. This is really good at absorbing liquid, and babies tend to need a lot of liquid absorbing done. So if you have diapers,
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do. If you have diapers at home, that's the chemical inside the diaper that's helping to soak up all that excess liquid. We got one more thing we can do. We said this is the melting snowman month. So would you like to do the honors?
Right. So we're gonna pour some salt on our snowman.
A little more, keep going, a lot more, a lot more. There we go, looking good. All right, that snowman has a lot of salt on it. And I'm gonna start stirring it up a little bit. Now, if you have some really slick sidewalks outside in the winter because, you know, there's a lot of ice and snow, you're gonna find out real fast that's dangerous. And we want a way to melt away all of that extra ice and snow really fast. What do you put on your sidewalks to melt it all? Well, you put on a bunch of salt. And look at that. Already our snowman is getting very, very soupy. Oh, this poor snowman. Oh, look at that nose, those poor eyes. But man, that salt melted this snow really, really quickly. That is our melting snowman gel.
Thank you all so much for tuning in to our virtual STEM event for January. And we hope to see you in February for Cupid's Arrow.
All right.
Have a good night.
See you in February.